When I started seriously lifting at the beginning of high school, I was sub 130, pretty weak, unathletic, and all of that combined made me pretty insecure. My bench was under 95 pounds, and even when I finally hit 155, my form left a lot to be desired. You could probably stick a basketball underneath my butt while I was benching, and my setup was terrible, and one arm was definitely doing more work than the other arm. But over the last couple of years, lifting slowly became more than just going to the gym for me. Now I'm chasing a 315 bench before senior year, and this summer I'm trying to take things to another level. The early progress. This was about halfway through my freshman year. I hit 155 on bench, and as you can see, there were loads of problems. I noticed my physique slowly started got to stronger, and I was noticing progression. In my early training, my consistency was great. I was there every chance I got because I was always looking for a way to get better. I had lots of struggles eating. I had a really big fear of getting fat. So, well, I might be skinny, but at least I got a little six pack. And that is probably what held me back the most from reaching where I am now. I was scared to gain weight at first because I didn't want to get fat. But once I finally started eating enough, everything changed for me. What actually helped my bench? Well, consistency, of course. If you're not willing to go to the gym and bench a minimum of 2 days a week, then you're probably going to be holding yourself back. And body weight gain was definitely a massive thing for me. I ate like an animal. Okay, freshman year, I walked into high school under, and then I ended freshman year. Start of sophomore year, I was 155 probably, and then I got myself to one, and now it's the summer of my junior year, and I'm averaging end of sophomore year, and I always knew triceps would help 195 morning bench press, so I would spam tricep press downs, and I got my triceps to honestly be a strong point in my physique, but I definitely neglected my chest, and that showed up in my bench press. It doesn't matter how strong of a lockout you have, and it's going to be different for everybody. So I would recommend finding out your chest where your bench press struggles. You struggle with getting the bar off your chest, like me, then you need to incorporate more chest work. But if you struggle with getting the bar locked out, then that's going to be where your triceps and shoulders start to fail, but mostly your triceps. And I also had massive technical improvements. So I used to just be focused on strength, and I had no aspirations for powerlifting. So I would just put as much weight on the bar, and that can work, and but by any means necessary, I would get it the best. And if you try to post something like that, you're going to get a million comments telling you to put your butt on the bench and fix your form. So keeping your butt on the bench is going to help your bench press in the long term, especially if you have any aspirations in competing. One of the biggest things that I did that helped me keep my butt on the was incorporating something called a Larson press into my regular training. So this is a variation of bench press where you completely remove your legs. So it's impossible to have too much leg. You have your legs now straight off the bench. Definitely they're not probably even touching the ground if you're just learning how to do it, because you're probably not going to have a gauge on how much weight you can do yet. And I started training with powerlifting to get me ready for the powerlifting pauses on my chest. And within my regular training, I think it's actually starting to make me a stronger bench presser because I can handle more weight controlled. I'm not just slamming it into my chest and seeing how fast I can bounce it up. And I've always had okay programming because of my dad's background, but I started doing research, reading books, watching videos, and I would say I've made myself a pretty competent training program. Of course, with help from my dad, revising it and whatever. But I would say my training program is pretty competent. So finding a good training program is going to help your bench go up because you're not guessing what you want to have on the bar. And I'm sure there's plenty of free ones out there. I will put in the comment section my exact program that I made up myself. And I used to think just benching more was enough, but once I started prioritizing chest work and fixing my technique, my bench started moving way fast. Now the goal for me is 315 and hopefully somewhere around 320 to 330 before my senior year starts. I want to take powerlifting way more seriously and I want to become elite someday. And this summer is the beginning of seeing how far I can actually take this.